is there ever a moment where the mental health of the talent is more important than, I guess, them continuing on? Like, if you look at and this is new, when you look at the Naomi Osaka's, the Ryan Garcias, taking time away, missing big tournaments, big fights, to say, you know what, my mental health is more important than anything else. And I don't think that's ever happened with, on that stage. I feel like the athlete or the talent has always had to find a way. But yeah, is there ever a time when, where the mental health is more important than...
Every time, to be honest, like, because it's human first, athlete later.
Yeah.
Right? I look back now and I think about growing up, everything that my mum did for me. And, I have up and down days just like we all do. She did, right? But when you're younger, you don't look at it like that. The people who look after us, we think they're robots. We don't, our teachers or whoever. Think of how many of our teachers at school would have been there teaching lessons and they had the worst week ever.
Can only imagine.
They're down in the dumps.
Especially in their personal lives.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Especially knowing teachers now.
Yeah.
And knowing what they go through. And on the weekends, they're just like...
Mate.
boozing, trying to numb the pain. And, shout out teachers, nurses.
Yeah.
My grandma, my mum's mum, was in hospital like a few Christmases ago, and the nurses did such a great job with her. But then I think about these long shifts that they're working, the effects that takes on their mental health. But they've got to show up and be there for the patient, right?
Yeah.
That's their job. But to answer your question, the mental health always comes first. Those examples, Ryan Garcia, Osaka, even Sha'Carri Richardson recently, with the, listen, let me just be very clear on that, by the way. Cannabis is a banned substance on the, I guess, VADA, World Anti-Doping Association list. I think so. We don't exclusively represent any Olympians. We broker deals for some, but so I'm not fully clued up on that. But I'm pretty sure weed is banned substance.
Is that the same with football?
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Yeah. Every elite sport, to be honest.
Okay.
In the off season,
Except for UFC.
Oh, really?
They've legalized it, because I think it was Nate Diaz. He was like, when they announced it, he was just smoking in the press conference. He was like, finally.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He went and lost after, but hey.
Mad.
But so I just wanted to quickly segue and say what she did was wrong, because people are saying, it's kind of, there's racism tones of that in there.
Yeah.
Okay, because there was a thing about African hair swimmers can't wear a certain swim cap. I don't know if you guys saw that. Now that is slightly ridiculous, a different conversation. But with Sha'Carri, no, you ingested or you smoked, you inhaled something you shouldn't have done. So that's it. I understand she might have had plausible reasons, losing her birth mum. But to your point about mental health, she did what she had to do to get her mind right, And has she lost M's? Probably. Hopefully she can run it back, and she's young, so I'm sure she'll make more of that back. It'd be interesting to see how many brands are still willing to partner with her. In a way, though, it may work in her favor, because so many people are supporting her.
Yeah.
Same with Naomi Osaka. So many people showed love, but you have to take care of the grey matter first, I think. But then there is an argument to say, with Osaka, she said at the French Open, I'm not going to talk to media for my mental health. As an elite athlete, though, looking at it from an agent's point of view, or even from a marketer's point of view, if I'm paying millions to sponsor Roland Garros, and the top draw is just saying I don't want to speak to media, I understand that there are going to be reasons why, but at the same time, I want what I'm paying for.
Yeah.
Right. But then on the other side, there's looking at it from the human perspective, which is you got to look after number one before anything else.
Yeah.
Doesn't that ever, I guess, put you in a conflicting position? What if Naomi was your talent, and she doesn't want to do the press conferences because you obviously you're empathizing with her as a human, but at the same time, this is your talent, this is your livelihood. How would you approach it if that was your talent?
Every player is different. I remember a few years ago, Isaiah Thomas, who's a basketball player, used to play for the Celtics, lost his sister, I believe, and he actually played like a day later or 2 days later.
Crazy.
I can't understand how he did that, unbelievable willpower, right? I don't think anyone would have said to him, "You have to play." There's no way, but he chose to. Naomi chose not to play. That was her decision. But all you got to remember is when we talk about mental fatigue and mental health, there are different types of ways that you can be drained. It's not just physically, but mentally you can feel under pressure. Also, kind of emotional fatigue, which is the ups and downs of a tennis tournament, right? Which is winning, losing. Naomi Osaka is very sensitive from what we've seen, so it probably affects her differently, the winning, the losing, all the rest of it. So what I'm trying to say is, it's not just, when we talk about mental health and whether it's up or down, it's not just happy, sad, but it's the whole package. So for me, I'm leaving it to the player. I think ultimately you have to.